So I actually received a detailed intelligence and operational brief from the team here at Area 4. Last year, of course, Area 4 was one of our more successful, or probably the most successful police area in terms of reduction of violent crime. We got a reduction of 20+% in Area 4, and all of the divisions were below what they were in 2021. So that sets the backdrop really for what is happening now and this year. We have to make sure that that trend continues. We have had a recent flare-up in Kingston West that has received the attention of the headquarters, my own attention. I was there on Sunday to get a feel of what was going on from the ground. And today I've spent quite a few hours with the Area 4 team so that I could get an understanding of what is happening across the area widely, and then more specifically in the Kingston West, Kingston Central police divisions. It's clear to me, and I'm quite satisfied, that the team at Area 4 understand the conflicts, understand what is going on, and the sources of the violence. And there are very specific people who, coming out of this briefing, we will name as persons who we want, and we'll also continue to put out a list of persons who may assist us with our investigations, and these are the persons of interest. I will have the operations officer for the area, SSP Steve McGregor, give those names as soon as I'm finished. Our response to this increase in violence has been initially to deploy significant amount of assets in the affected area, particularly in Kingston West and Kingston Central. We then went through a process of identifying some of the key players and those persons who may have been involved in the violence, but also those persons who are organizing and orchestrating the violence in Kingston West and Kingston Central. It has been, some of those spaces have been quiet for some time, and to the extent that we have managed to do a fair amount of social intervention in those spaces. As we're saying, there was a football competition that was taking place in the Kingston Western Division in the area of Beeston Street, West Street side, and that had got interrupted because of this violence. We're going to get that started again, but we're also going to get those persons who believe that they are going to disrupt normal life in communities and cause violence to go up in Kingston again. We're not going to have that. And so we will be targeting directly those persons. So there are some persons named. There are also some persons, based on the intelligence briefing, who are abroad and are impacting the violence here in Jamaica. We already had given some of those names to our partners, and we will give some additional names to them, and we'll be pursuing them here and there. Fortunately, we had an arrest up in the US recently of one of the criminal gang leaders here and his second, and we are working with our partners to see where this goes. We're also, as a strategy, and along with our JDF counterparts, because they have moved in quickly to support us when we got the flare-up, but we are now going to go through a process of deliberate searches within the areas that we believe that guns are secreted or that criminal gangs are using as their headquarters and other spaces. I'm not going to say anything more about that, but just be aware that deliberate and detailed searches are going to be a feature of our response to this. What is for sure is that we find unacceptable that criminals, gunmen with their own selfish motives hold entire communities to ransom. And these communities largely, and when you go on the ground, it is very clear, want to get on with their lives, make a living, have a livelihood, see their kids grow up and become productive citizens. It is very difficult for these people in the presence of these criminals. And it is our duty, with the support of these communities, and we get really good support, we will make a difference there. So we're not going to sit by and watch these flare-ups go unchecked. As soon as they start, we're going to be on them, and specifically on the people who are a part of it. There will also be a series of curfews that will continue in the short term. There are already some applications in for cordons that will be put in place. There are a number of strategies in our toolbox, but overall, they will contribute to the reduction in violence in Kingston. And we believe that if we can get Kingston